All right, let's go. We have the cult legend, the original Kill Taylor winner. We have Mathew Randolph, aka Mathew. Dude, so funny how that happened too. It was just in the chat. Like someone in the chat said you look like a meth head.
Mm-hmm.
And then
oops, sorry. You guys popped up. You're good, go ahead.
And someone in the chat said it, and then it just evolved over the rest of the episode until you were just Mathew. It was amazing.
The chat seems to not get away, but they name pretty much everybody all the time. And once the chat gets a hold of it, it's endless. Like it's never gonna not be that, and you just have to sort of live with it.
Yeah, but now
like I didn't hear anything anybody was saying because I had it on my phone, and in my little like barn garage, I just couldn't hear anything. Yeah. I just kept hearing a bunch of background chatter. That's it.
And then afterwards, did you just get Mathew like crazy? Because that's what I kept calling you.
Yeah, that's what everybody like people in the gym that saw it, or like my buddies that were watching it at the time. Like I've just been called that by everybody since then. And I had like the one trainer that's in the gym with me. He was like more mad about the episode. And I'm like, why are you mad? He's like, dude, they were ruthless. I'm like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't know why you guys got to get upset about it.
You handled it like a champ at the end, where you just, you gave it to Taylor as well. Like, yeah, I knew I was going to fuck him up. Like, no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned to develop some pretty thick skin with the people I grow up, and like being in the gym, like when you're around the same 5 guys every day, you sort of get shit nonstop from each other, and you just learn to deal with it, and nobody really means anything. So
when you were doing the workout, you couldn't hear any of the trash talking?
No, the only thing I heard was they said something about like, I thought my neighbor's dog was a deer, and so in my neighborhood, like none of us have leashes on our dogs. Like they just roam the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So when I heard the neighbor's dog, like I looked up and I thought there was a dog in the garage, and like I didn't want to like hit it with the dumbbell or anything. So like that's why I'm like, oh, there's a dog in here. And I was trying not to like get attacked by a dog. But yeah.
So did you go back and watch your episode to really hear all of the shit talking that they gave you afterwards?
Yeah, I go back and so I think I've been on it maybe like 3 or 4 times, and I go back and watch it, and it's usually like Pedro. He's usually the most ruthless person on the show compared to Taylor. And
yeah.
He gives pretty good shit talk the whole time.
Corey Leonard says, I can't pull it up. I was trying. You're welcome, Mathew.
There it is.
The chat.
The man that gave the name.
Yeah, Corey, were you the one that started it? That's fire if you did. Wad Zombie, what's up, dude? I have so many questions for this guy. Ask away. I'll pull them up.
The weirdest thing was it might have been Taylor, but they brought up like the lawnmower.
Yeah.
And like everybody kept asking me about it. I'm like, they don't cut their own grass, or like they've never known people that cut their grass. Like who doesn't have a lawnmower in their garage or in their shed? And it's just like, no, I don't cut grass for a living. I cut my own. But
Lucky Camera shouts, Pedro is like a sniper with shit talking everything as a kill shot.
He was, I'm telling you, that episode is probably my favorite episode of them shit talking. Like that, and maybe the one where the dude won in the swimming. But those two are probably my Mount Rushmore of who got, because your episode, it was Pedro, Hiller, Caleb, and Sevon. Mm-hmm. And damn, it was like, and
at one point they're all just talking over each other, and all you kept hearing is Taylor, which I feel like is mostly part of Kill Taylor, is just cursing out the chat. Like, shut the fuck up. He's not gonna win. This person's not gonna win. My favorite though comment is always Sevon. That's like 3, 2, 1, go. He's on pace.
Oh look, he's winning. And then
Heidi's always like, yo, they're on pace.
Yep.
And then they're like,
it's everybody, and then it just slowly peters out to like, all right, never mind. And then that's it. Taylor wins.
Yep.
All right, let's go back to the beginning, because even the people that were on the show before you, this episode was fire. Like the guys that came on before you were awesome too, and it was amazing as well. So, when did you realize you were gonna go on the show? Like you were gonna actually call in? Did you?
I was sitting at the workout. Yeah, I was sitting at the house and I saw the workout, and like I have that stuff at home. I have pretty much an entire gym at home, but like that's the only thing I had set up in the garage because we just moved there last summer. And I just told my wife, I'm like, I'm gonna go win $1,500 and I'll be back. And like, it's just GHDs or something I've always been really good at, because during the pandemic when everything was shut down, like I still had my GHD machine. I would just like get bored during the day, and I would just like go do 300 of them, and I'd come back inside and I get bored again. And I was doing probably like anywhere from like 500 to 700 a day, like for like weeks on end.
Oh, yeah.
And I just got used to doing a couple thousand a week, and then I've just been really good at them ever since. So I'm like, I think I can get Taylor on this one.
Wait, hold on. I have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
You looked at your wife and said, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go win $1,500.
Yeah.
What is her response?
Well, I walked up there. I don't know. It probably was like 45 minutes later, and I said, "Just so you know, I won $1,500." And then I walked back down to the garage, and that was it.
And that was it.
Yeah.
I
was pretty confident in that I could beat him, and if I didn't beat him, it only would have been a couple seconds, like I would have lost by. But I was pretty sure it was a sure
But
thing.
it wasn't like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna do it? Does she watch Kill Taylor with you? Does she kind of have an idea that you watch Sevon and his show or whatever?
Yeah, she knows I watch it. I watch it a lot, like when I'm making dinner, like I'm just hanging around at the house and everybody's doing their own thing. And she's like, I'm glad I didn't watch it. She's like, I was so mad when I went back and heard how they were talking. And she's like, I'm glad the kids didn't have to watch. And I'm like, it's no big deal. Like, they're just all talking shit.
Big shocker. The wife doesn't want to watch Sevon. Big shocker.
Yeah.
And the boys. Sevon and the boys. Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, they just talk so much shit. I'm like, they're just a bunch of guys. That's all it is.
Yeah. But that's why you took the $1,500 from them, and many of them just sat back in their chair and were a little quiet after that. So
yeah, you get your 15 minutes of fame, then they're just back to talking shit later. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It was great because the first guy was like the TTT guy, and Taylor just trashed him because he was on TTT. Bernie Gannon, Mathew became an instantly. Yeah. You were in my life. You literally were a cult classic. Madeline Adams. We need more people like Mathew. Yes, we do. Absolutely. So the TTT guy, it was fun, and they messed with him. You need to be on Sentinel training, whatever. But then the next guy came on from Krypton.
Yeah. They gave Ben Smith more shit than they gave that guy. Like, it was bad.
And then he messed up. He wouldn't have won anyway because he got destroyed by the snatches. But he missed reps. Like he did 39 or something like that.
Yeah, just the very last rep, and he dropped the dumbbell. But he was already like 2 seconds behind.
Yeah.
But like, even though they know he lost, you still only did 39. They just kept calling him big pussy. Like, it was great.
But you in that one, with that one, you could see how nervous Taylor actually was. He was like, oh shit. Like, what is
I picked the wrong workout.
Yeah. And I think that's when Hiller started to tell him that he was getting lazy with programming or getting comfortable with programming or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the next guy's you. And this is so much fun. Because
in my blacked out garage. Yeah,
I've said it a million times. I would rather see Taylor. I don't want to see Taylor get beat by like semifinals athletes or games athletes, or like, I want to see him get beat by Mathew. You know what I mean? Just a dude that this is what I'm good at, this is what I do, and I'm gonna come up. Yeah. So you come on, you have cupping marks all over your back.
Yeah, that was my kids. That was my kids. I was just sitting at the house and they're like, "Can we put cups on your back?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll watch TV." And like they put them on usually a little too tight, but I just sit there and let them have fun, and then I take them off.
So you already have like this line down your spine. You're in a garage. You kind of don't look like the CrossFitter that will beat Taylor.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, how tall are you? What do you weigh?
I'm like 5'10" right now, about 200.
Oh, no, you are absolutely the type of body build that will do that.
Yeah. And that's like the whole, like, I guess, joke or premise behind like my gym's name, the Sleeper Athletics. Like, you don't look like somebody that's fit, and then you just become a problem for other people.
You look
like that.
So skinny. I think that's why everybody, I don't know if it was you, like, you just don't have.
Yeah, I didn't have the IG lighting. Like, I didn't have the Instagram model lighting. Yeah.
Maybe it was the lighting. Yeah.
Bernie Gannon. Yes. Can you pull it up?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bernie Gannon, Mathew is the John Wilkes Booth of killing Taylor. Yeah, absolutely. That was fire. So yeah, no one thinks it, and that's why I think your name is so perfect, Sleeper Athletics. Like it absolutely is. And they said it afterwards, like, oh, Sleeper. Like,
yeah,
you know, it was so cool. So you didn't give them like a 3, 2, 1 go. They were like, oh my God, this guy's just going. Caleb, do you have the clock? Do you have the timer? Blah, blah.
I didn't know they couldn't see, like, you could see the clock on my phone. I'm like, oh, they should be able to see it. But since I'm like, I don't buy iPhones, like I have a shitty Android as everybody else. And like, it was just blurred out. I'm like, okay, I can hear the beep. I don't care whether they start the clock or not. They can see it at the end. I just let it go. Because at first, as soon as the show started, I texted in. And I'm sure he probably got 40, 50 text messages. So I just kept texting in. I sent like probably 20 or 30 text messages, and I was getting irritated. So by the time they let me on, I was like, whatever, I'm just going to go. I'm like, I don't have time to talk anymore.
Awesome. Oh,
yeah, I was just getting
like,
a little
I don't have time to talk anymore. I love it.
Yeah, I was getting a little irritated. Yeah.
Well, that's
the show. So
he probably kept swiping because I don't think they're Android. They don't like Android. So they were like, this Android guy,
it's
like ain't nobody
green bubble, green bubble.
It's fine.
That's crazy though. I didn't realize that. I mean, I figured that a lot of people probably text in or whatever, but I almost wonder how he does that. I wonder if he just randomly
So I remember in the first episode, he said, if you want to get in, just keep texting. So your name keeps popping to the top. So I'd text and I'd wait 3 to 5 minutes and I'd text again. Then I'd wait a minute or two and I'd text again. So I figured, but I could see like that they were like going through, and I'm like, I can hear the phone on the podcast, like going off every time I text. And I was just getting a little irritated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever a contestant has their girlfriend or whatever on the show or helping them or whatever, they always make comments about the girlfriend or whatever. Is that why you kept your wife inside? You're like,
no, I just usually go off and do my own thing anyways. And like the kids wanted to come down and like, no, like you guys can just stay up here. I'm only going to be gone for like 15 or 20 minutes. And I usually just go off and do my own thing. And then like if my wife wants to work out, I don't bug her either. She goes and does her own thing. So.
All right, let's share this screen. I definitely wanted to get your reaction to this live. So we're going to try to make this work because this is like the 1 minute of the episode that's probably my favorite minute of Kill Taylor from all times. So yeah.
Last guy.
Yeah, well, one. I also think he did 41 GHD sit-ups.
3, 4.
Oh, so we have to send him $1,533.
No, it's his own damn fault.
9.
Hey, he is no shot, just so you know.
11. I didn't say that. 12. 13.
He's gonna fall apart.
14.
Taylor
15.
is so
meth
quiet.
only lasts 3 minutes.
So there's the meth only lasts 3 minutes, right? And we're at 2:34.
Famous last words. Yeah.
It really is their famous last words for this $1,500. But let's continue on.
He's already feeling it wear off.
19. 20.
Come on, do it for Dale King.
22.
Oh,
nice.
Oh my
If anything, we'll have a job after this.
Look, he's actually got the ingredients from Death Lab underneath the worktop.
28.
Oh, I see the blue crystals down there.
Yeah.
Ow, there's the ow.
30. Oh, he's slowing down. 31.
Yeah.
There's the ow. He's slowing down, and the blue crystals are underneath the ear.
Yep. My sidewalk salt. Yep.
When you went back to listen to this, because again, you didn't hear any of this.
No.
Were you like, what the fuck are they talking about? Were you completely shocked that they would be talking about this?
I was laughing the whole time, and like I said, the only thing that threw me off was the lawnmower. I'm like, I can see Seb. Yeah, I could see like Sevon not cutting his own grass because that makes total sense. But everybody else, especially Taylor, should know that people cut their own grass. I'm like, it's not what I do for a living. It's just I have a lawnmower. And I was like so confused about where that came from.
But
that's okay.
Oh
all right, here we go. And now we take the rapid turn at the 3-minute mark.
Slowing way down.
Man.
32. Oh no.
Buddy hit
33.
a wall.
34. 35. You were right. Meth only lasts for 3 minutes. 36. Is that
Yeah,
36?
it is.
This is either 39 or 40. I lost count.
Oh
I
my
think.
God.
Well, he's
Here
doing
we go.
40.
40.
They lost count because the silence happened and they realized like,
Yeah.
oh, he has enough time to finish these snatches right
Yeah,
now.
it's not going to
That's
take that
what
long. Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Doing 41 again.
Oh my goodness. You got to fly, dude. You got to
Holy
fly and you have a chance too.
I remember
this is
hearing
later
that
that
part,
other dude
Sevon
just-
saying that.
It
4,
is. Holy shit.
5, 6,
Taylor, you're way too comfortable with this program
7.
workouts.
I'm telling you, dude, you gotta fucking figure it out.
9,
Caleb's talking
Man.
shit too.
Taylor's so
7.
nervous here.
12.
But now the shit talk turns to Taylor.
Yes.
Now
Yeah.
they're talking shit to Taylor. They're not
Yeah.
talking shit to you anymore. Like,
And this is where he
people-
tries pointing out that I'm just doing a bunch of no reps and then quickly decides to change his mind.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
oh, his
'Cause-
elbow, your elbow. Oh no,
Yeah.
that looked good.
If there's any
I
group
know,
of people you can't do no reps around, which I did it in one of the other episodes because I completely lost count of everything, are these guys, because then you're just shut off from everything. So I'm like,
Yep.
just straighten your arm out at the top and then drop it as fast as you can.
This is amazing. Okay, so here we go. This is like my favorite part of any episode. The only reason the other episode with the swim workout was because they did this exact same thing.
Yep.
Like he's not no fucking, and then all of a sudden he gets out of the pool and they're like, everybody's quiet.
Yeah.
Like,
They're so quiet.
Knock that thing out, fucker. Look at your
14.
elbow. Look at his elbow.
15.
Okay, that was good.
He's locked.
17. 18.
Yeah, Caleb's like, nah, these are
19.
great.
Oh,
Wow, he's
shit.
gonna beat me.
20.
20.
Oh shit, he is gonna beat you.
Halfway, come on.
21. 22.
Jesus Christ, this guy, dude.
23.
Wait, was that Hiller's left?
24. You're gonna have to shit the bed and I'll be
yeah, Hiller's dying because he's like, oh fuck, you fucked up, dude. Like
Yeah.
this is the guy, and you called him Mathew, and now
Yeah.
here we go.
Mhm.
25.
Meth. Guy.
26.
Meth. Guy.
27.
Pedro.
28. $1,500 for proof of business plan. 29. I think this is 30. Here we go. 10 more left.
The fucking
31.
CrossFit games. You don't have to be in the entire field of view.
33.
Jesus Christ.
34. 35. 36.
He's going to be under 430.
38.
Fuck this guy.
39. $1,500. Yeah!
I'm gonna go fucking
We
jump off a
free.
bridge.
That's it.
And so then we had to go put Taylor on. He even came on the show. He's like, I'm on suicide watch right now. Like I can't
Yeah.
be-
I saw that episode when you brought him back after this. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, Caroline, that was what I probably should have started the show with. Have you gotten your money yet?
Oh yeah, Sevon was pretty good about getting it to me. And it's like, so Sevon doesn't give you the money, all the businesses have to give you the money.
Yeah.
So but they all contacted me and I got it within like the first 2 or 3 days of the week. Like they were all pretty good about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, my kid's in the room. He's good.
You're fine.
Kenneth the Lap, what can't this guy do?
Yep.
A lot of things actually. Can't do a lot of things.
You can freaking do GHD
You can,
sit-ups
listen, you
and
can win
dumbbell
you
snatches.
can
That was fire.
Win $1,500 in 4.5 minutes. That's pretty awesome.
And when they put that work, I was actually surprised. I was like, I could see like a 70-pound dumbbell because like the 70-pound dumbbell would have been the separator of anybody that just does CrossFit to compare to like a competitive athlete.
Mhm.
But I said, oh, once it was a 50, that was fine because I always use a 70 most of the time. So I was pretty sure the 50 wouldn't have been a problem.
Bernie Gannon, this reminds me of when I first saw Rocky in the movie theaters. Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you watched it live,
Mhm.
you were like, you changed from, let's make fun of these guys. You changed immediate to
Yeah.
go,
Yep.
freaking
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
Like,
And I think, I can't remember if it's Heidi. I can't remember who it is. It's a female in the chat all the time. And like she put like, I've never stood in my kitchen and cheered for people that I don't know so much than Kill Taylor. And I think that's what makes Kill Taylor so cool. Is
It's
like
fun.
you don't see games athletes, you just see people that like to work out, and then they're like, "Oh, I'll try and beat a semifinals athlete."
and
and then-
you want to roast him, and he's not even just a semifinals athlete. He's a dude that's probably eventually going to go to the games like shortly.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
So
He just missed it, right? He just missed
yeah,
it.
he just missed it.
yeah, it was like 3 or
Right.
4 spots this year. Yeah,
Yeah.
We're gonna get into his life but homegrown relief CBD athletics. Where is Mathew from?
Central PA. I'm right outside of Altoona. So if you know where Penn State's at, like State College, PA, we're like 45 minutes south of there.
All right. 3 minutes is a lifetime for that. Yeah. But no, that was cool. So what was the reaction, even though you became the cult, the chat gave you your own moniker and now you're a cult legend, and what were the people at home in the gym and stuff saying? Were they just like, oh my God, you beat Taylor? Did you get a shirt?
No, I didn't. I never got a shirt. No. We asked about it, but they like once they put the Kill Taylor shirts out, like I talked to Sevon about it, like, hey, I'll ship the shirts for you, like I'll get people's addresses and all that stuff. But they already had I think Born Primitive working on it. But it doesn't, they didn't come up with the shirt idea until like 4 or 5 episodes later.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. That's
So but I posted it on Instagram just like for something for the gym. I didn't really tell anybody. Like I don't like to put myself I don't like to bring myself up and like talk about myself too much. So like if people found out, they found out. And I run I call it Fit for Life here. It's like an older group of people, usually like 65, 60 years or older. And our other coach told them about it. And they were probably the most happiest. Like all these like 65-plus-year-old ladies that I get to coach every day were pretty happy about it. Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. No, we loved it. And every time you went, because you went on the show a couple more times, 2 more times, right? Or just 1?
I did the double under burpee workout where I completely like embarrassed myself of not knowing how to count to 30. And then the ring muscle up one, and then the sandbag toe to bar one.
Yeah. I was rooting for you the whole time.
Well, good.
Like, I was rooting for lightning in a bottle. I really was. I was like, let's go.
The ring muscle up one, I had one of the high school kids in here was holding the phone, and I told him like, hey, just so you know, like they're gonna talk shit about you too, so like just be prepared while you hold the phone to like try not and cry because they're gonna bring it to you too. And he was pretty cool about it.
Oh, this is cool, Bernie Yannon. Kill Taylor champions should get their own special shirt. Maybe Seven could have a tournament. That's what I'm saying.
That's really cool.
Tournament of champions. Like let all the champions go up against each other. That would be fire.
That'd be really cool.
Colton Mertens wins.
He doesn't count, bro. He's one of the, like, he doesn't count.
I love when he comes on though, and it's just like, all right, Taylor, I need money, and then he just takes it.
Like I need you to, and I'm gonna have you go shut up and sit down somewhere.
Have you ever noticed he only comes on when it's like a $500 jackpot?
Yeah, I think he has enough respect for it that like I'm not gonna take $3,000 from somebody. So he just
right.
That's very cool. I love that. All right, let's go. Let's bring up I wanted to bring this up for you, but tell us about your gym.
So what do you want to like? It's we used to be affiliated, like we used to have a CrossFit gym here. And then after COVID, we had lost probably like 50% of our members. And we never changed our membership, and we just tried to keep it going to like offer people like the best thing we could. And then we ended up having to increase the prices.
Yeah.
And just to keep like the overhead. And it was like we never raised our prices in 5 or 6 years. So like then we had to raise them like the percentage to keep the overhead, which was pretty hefty.
Yeah.
So like towards the end of our affiliation for last year, we were talking about like, hey, if we lower the prices, we'll have to get rid of the affiliate, which we were all okay with. But the head coach at the time like agreed that he would only do this as long as we were affiliated. And like, he's a really good dude, and we had been talking before. He's like, hey, the day I'm done, like the whole gym's yours, like you can run it. So like when it came time to drop the affiliate, I was like, hey, like I'll run it, and I'll start my own LLC, and we'll just use that as the name. Because like our gym's under an umbrella. So the gym is actually Dorman's gym. And that's the Freddie Dorman who owns it. And he runs the barbell club here. So like under Dorman's gym, we have DSP barbell, and then we have sleeper athletics, and then we have DSP sports performance.
Oh, cool.
So I'm just like a subgroup of the gym. It just helps us break everything up.
So I've always wanted to, they always ask the gym owners or affiliates that price hike to be affiliated, that really did hurt you guys.
I wouldn't say like if we had the original members from COVID, I don't think it would have hurt us at all. But like we're not in the best area I don't want to say best area, but like economically charging people $150 a month, like where our gym is, just isn't a sustainable price for people.
Mhm.
So we were deciding to change it anyways, and then once the affiliation fee increased, it was like pretty much set in stone after that.
So is that your main job, just running the gym and?
Yeah, so I own the sleeper athletics part of the gym, and then I run can't say CrossFit, a few of the fitness classes throughout the week, and then I have a couple other coaches, and I run the Fit for Life class, and I program for some other people on the side and do some personal training.
And how's that? Was your wife worried at all when that everything went down with COVID and changing from CrossFit to not CrossFit, and then?
No, because I really didn't nothing happened on my end when it comes to like the paycheck or anything. And like even when it did happen, I was like, okay, I got to find a way probably to make some more supplemental income. So I started like my own thing on Sugar Wad, and I started doing more personal training clients and stuff like that. Because at the time I wasn't. This was like just strictly my sole gig. And my wife, like she's a nurse, so she works, and we have enough to pretty much all my money goes to covering the bills, and then she pays what she needs to for hers. Then it's just play money after that.
Oh, so she was literally working during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like
she never stopped working. Yeah.
Did you guys shut down? Were you like, fuck it? Like
we shut down for, I want to say it was like 4 or 5 months. Oof. And then we opened up, we just took everything outside. And then after that, when we brought everything in, just to sort of respect the members that still wanted to come in and some of the policies that were around, we like taped off 10 by 10 foot squares for everybody.
Yeah.
And like, hey, we all can still work out. And if like you don't want to mask up, you don't have to. It's like not a mandatory thing. And we just sort of tried to have much respect for everybody as we could, never making anything mandatory.
How was that navigating her being so busy with the pandemic and everything like that? How was that for her?
So luckily she doesn't work in like the main floors of the hospital. She works at a clinic where they do like diabetes, thyroid, and endocrine clinic.
Okay.
So that was pretty much just where it's not like she was doing 80 hours of overtime because people were dying in the hallways. She pretty much just stuck to doing that stuff. So it wasn't too bad of a.
Was it hard for her clients to be able to get access to their medication and coming in to see her in the office or whatever during COVID?
Not that I know of. Her doctor's pretty strict on wanting to have patients all the time. Mm-hmm. So I highly doubt they ever drop below anything less than like 15 patients a day.
Gotcha.
Because like if somebody calls off, she just picks up somebody else. She just keeps picking up people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How old are your kids?
My son is 5 and my daughter is 7.
Okay, so they were fairly young at that time. Like, yeah.
Yeah, my son he had just been born, then my daughter was 3, I think. Yeah, 3 when it started.
That had to be crazy. I can't even.
We just hang out at the house, man. Like I'm a hermit crab usually, so staying at the house, like I just take them to the gym and they hang out. And like my daughter, 2 weeks after she was born, she was in the gym and like sleeping by the fan next to the speaker, barbell slamming. Yep. So she's always been pretty chill. And then even when I started coaching here in 2018, I would just set up like a little spot of boxes to like entrap her, and she would just stand in there and play, and I would just work out, and she was cool with me. She would even sit there while I was coaching. She was fine with it.
I love that. Our son was
Same
that
way.
too. When I was coaching and stuff like that. So how did you get into coaching?
So I got in the military in like 2010, and when I was at basic training, there was this guy towards the end when we had a little more free time. He's like, hey, like I'm doing this stuff called CrossFit. And I'm like, well, okay, what is that? He's like, pretty much just going to go do some push-ups and sit-ups set to a time. I'm like, okay. And I sort of like got the niche there. And then when I got out of basic training, my first duty station, I was on a rear detachment because everybody was deployed, and the gym opened up, and she came and she's like, hey, like we're opening this gym. Do you guys have a group of people that want to come check it out? And like, I think 20 of us went one morning, and she just showed us the gym. We didn't do anything. And I said, hey, I'll be back tonight. She goes, okay. And I was the only one to show back up, and they put me through this workout. And her husband at the time was running only me because I was the only person that showed up for class. And it was like a 3-round workout of wall balls, overhead lunges with a plate, and I can't remember what the third move was, but like I got into the second round. He looked at me, he's like, "Hey, just stop what you're doing." And like that was like my first CrossFit workout. I got stopped. I'm like, okay, thank God, because I can't feel my legs. Yeah, it was pretty.
I was gonna say
pretty
rip
bad.
to your legs.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
welcome to CrossFit. Let's do a bunch of wall balls, some lunges,
Yeah. And he was a Marine at the time, so he had like no sympathy. He's like, just
Oh,
stop
yeah,
what
no.
you're doing. Yeah. So,
I think that's the only workout I've ever cried in was a thruster burpee workout, and there was like a guest coach, and he was a Marine, and and I don't cry very much ever, if at all. But by I forget how many rounds it was. It was like 7 rounds or some ridiculous amount of rounds. And by like the last 2, I did it, but
ouch.
God, I wanted to like punch everybody in the face. Like it was
when
like crying.
and your
out of
body hurts and your
frustration.
pride hurts. You have to cry.
I was like, I probably haven't felt that way since the first couple days of basic training. Like that's pretty much how that went.
Just complete fear. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of
That was pretty good.
We show no mercy. Yeah, for sure. You don't at all.
So after doing that, I think we're all a little nuts because you do a workout that hurts so bad and then you choose to go back. So why did you go back, and what happened after, you continued to do it in basic?
So after we started at that gym, I had a couple buddies that were like, hey, we'll go and do this every night. And like our leadership at the time was like, cool, you guys can get off work like 30 minutes early so you can make it to the gym. And we started doing that. And then I got deployed a few months after like starting at the gym. And after I got back, it was just like life and excuses happened. And I never went back to like really to a CrossFit gym. I just sort of went to the post gym and did my own stuff. And then once I got married, my one buddy at the time was still going to the gym. And he said, hey, why don't you guys come down? And ever since the first day we walked into the original gym, we haven't turned back. So that was in 2014.
Oh, it's been a long. Did you have aspirations where you like in the army, like, oh, I can't wait, or the military, and we're like, oh, I can't wait to get out so I can go to the CrossFit Games? Like, were you all the way in the Kool-Aid?
So I think a lot of people have like, oh, I'm gonna make it to the CrossFit Games. Then like CrossFit has a way of kicking you in the face and saying, probably not. But originally I was gonna get out right after we got married, and I was gonna go be a state cop, and they changed their tattoo policy. And you couldn't have anything showing in uniform. And I had tattoos outside the sleeves. So we did like the whole pros and cons list. And like there was a lot more cons than pros because I didn't know what I was going to do. So I just re-enlisted and we stayed in for a few more years. And then 2016, 17, I'm like, I think I can give this coaching thing a go. And I just went and got my level 1 and just got out of the military and I've been trying to run with it ever since.
HGR, CBD Athletics, deployed where?
My first deployment, I went to Iraq in 2011, and then in 2013, I went to Afghanistan. So it's pretty fun time.
Hold on, let me just. Planet Moose Noodles Live sent me this way, like the noodles.
The noodles.
Like the noodles that got into it with Vindicate noodles.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, Planet? What's up, noodles?
Don't know the noodles.
No, you wouldn't know the reference. It's fine. It's all good.
Yeah.
Hi, Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne, yo, my boy Matt.
Yeah, so we were in the same unit together for like 3 or 4 years. Me and Bruce
You and
Wayne.
Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, we were deployed together in Afghanistan.
Oh, shit.
God, this Sevon verse is amazing, bro.
Very small world, dude.
Small.
Oh my God.
Small world.
All right, here you go. You're getting chat questions. HGR, what was your job in the military? Your MOS?
So I was active duty infantry, 11 Bravo.
Damn.
And so it was Bruce Wayne. And my first deployment, it was just a regular old dirty leg. And I was an RTO. And then after Iraq, I went to a recon platoon. And that's what I was in during Afghanistan. And we were attached to Bruce Wayne's platoon.
I'll give you this. Planet Moose. I was at, I don't know how to say that. Talil.
Talil Air Base in Iraq, 2011.
Yeah.
Was not there, no.
This world is small.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This world is small.
Bruce Wayne, bang, bang, baby.
Bang, bang, yep. 11 bang, bang, yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
So you're married while you're in the military?
Yeah, so we got married in 2014. And then I think so. I got out in December of 2017, I think, something like that. Yeah, somewhere around there. So it was about 3.5 years. I was in the military while we were married.
Oh, how does that work? You guys it was Skype. It was Skype back in the day, right? You could Skype each other. They had the little.
So where we were at, we didn't have so there was like 3 computers, and it's if they worked, and there was like 60 of us, so like you just sort of shared computer time, and it was pretty much just can't remember if I had Instagram at the time. It might have been Facebook, I don't know, but like we'd message on there. I don't think we ever video chatted the whole time I was over there.
Wow.
It's like the same thing. Like I talked to her in Iraq, but I don't think we ever video chatted. I just like, she knows I kind of like to do my own thing, and like I can talk to you when I can, and I'll do as much as I can. But like, I don't know. I've always been like to myself, and she talks to me when I need her, and I talk to her when she needs me, and that's pretty much it.
And that's
pretty
cool,
good relationship, yeah.
Because that trust level has to be real, because I've heard so many stories and know so many people that they get married, and while they're in the military, they deploy, and then it goes to shit.
Yeah.
Immediately.
So luckily, I don't want to say luckily because I don't think anything would ever happen, but she was like going to college while I was deployed. So she had like she was getting her nursing degree. She had her own shit going on. And then we waited to get married a little longer just because I was deploying.
Mm-hmm.
So we just like kept growing. Like you can have a good distance relationship. Like then when you guys are finally together, it's pretty solid ground from there.
So how do you decide to get out? You didn't want to make it like, or you're like, I'm good. We're having kids. You're about to have a baby. Like what?
Yeah. So my wife was actually pregnant with our daughter, and I was just planning on getting out. Like I was just going to ride the contract out and like let it be what it was. And then we were on some field problem. I can't remember what it was, but like Bruce Wayne, myself, and like 10 other guys all came down on drill orders. And I was like, being married with a kid doing drill, like that's just not going to happen. So I signed a deck statement, and that's it. That's all she wrote. Once you sign that, there's no staying in.
Okay, so anybody who doesn't know, like,
sorry, decline of orders. Yeah.
Explain drill orders.
So like you come down on drill sergeant orders, and you have a report date of when you go to school, and then after that you get assigned to whatever base they're going to assign you to. And my actual report date for whatever unit or base I was going to was the day my daughter was supposed to be born.
Oh.
And there was no like, I just went in. I told my wife, like, we can stay in and we can try it, or I go in tomorrow and I sign a decline of orders. She's like, it's up to you. And I'm like, fuck it. I just walked in and I told my retention officer, I'm like, have them written up for tomorrow. And I just signed it and walked out. I didn't like think twice about it. Yeah.
So I was about to ask you, no fear. You didn't worry about what you were going to do afterwards.
No, like, and that's one thing that like sort of separates me and my wife. Like I'll ride the dragon. Like, I don't care. Like, hey, shit happens. We'll figure it out along the way. And she's like more of like, oh, we need to plan it. I'm like, it'll probably work out. And I just do shit. So
I love your mindset. I like, we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. Everybody's
Like when we bought our new house, she freaked out. She's like, what did we just do? I'm like, oh, we either fucked up or we made a really good decision. I guess we'll find out in a month. And that was it. So like she was worried about it. I'm like, we either pay for it or we don't. And if we don't, I guess we'll figure it out from there.
Have you always been that type of person where you kind of just throw shit out there and you're just going to figure it out? It's either going to work or you're going to make the next choice to do the next thing.
The military definitely had like that effect on me. Because like you can have all the plans you want, and I can almost guarantee 98% of the time they're not going to go the way you want them to, and you just got to start figuring shit out on the fly. So I just try and live by like, it'll probably work out. There's no need to really worry about it.
And
That's how my grandfather was. He was a Marine too,
my father's a Marine too.
It's kind of he always kind of had that same message. It is what it is. We'll make it work. It's going to be okay.
Like, I mean, there's only so much you can do, and like you can like get wrapped around the axle about it, or you can just like sit down and try and figure it out. Like if you start panicking, everybody panics, and then it's like, so no, panicking doesn't do anybody good. So
yeah, nobody's thinking clearly. Yeah. You can't make decisions, that kind of stuff. So do you think that the military also kind of created this I do my own thing kind of separation that you have, or have you always been that kind of person, that kind of kid that you just kind of like to do your own shit and then you come around people when you want to, but then you go off and do what you want?
No, I've always kind of been, hey, I'm going to do this. Like, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. I don't need anybody to go do it with me. I'm just out on my own. Because growing up, it was pretty much me and my mom and my brother.
Mhm.
And then once I turned, I don't know, I was probably like 12 or 13. My brother went and lived with my gram, so it was just me with my mom, and we moved around a lot, so I never had like solid friends until I got to probably junior high. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna go do this, and then she's like, okay, and I would just go do something, and then I would ask my friends, you guys want to go to this? Like, no, not really. And I said, okay, and I would just leave my friends wherever they were, and I would go do what I want. And then like when I was in the military, I would ask people all the time, like, hey, I want to go out to eat, or I want to go do this. And they're like, well, we don't want to. And I said, well, okay. And you just find me like sitting at Applebee's at the bar, like eating steak because nobody else wanted to go with me. I don't care.
Oh, you do? Oh, so that whole thing where you just take yourself out to dinner and everybody's like, oh, look at that weirdo sitting by
that's me.
having dinner.
Yeah, that's me.
proudly. He's like, I have no shame in that.
Yeah, I don't care.
In that. Yeah.
I had to make myself go do that like 10 years ago or whatever, just to see what it was. Just go take a book to dinner, read a book, have dinner, hang out with yourself.
I think being alone is a lost art. Like people aren't used to being alone. I think you need to be able to go off and do stuff by yourself every now and then.
Why do you feel like that's so important?
You just need to be more independent. If you become dependent on maybe we'll say you just like take your dog everywhere, like that's fine. Like it's just a companion sort of thing. But if you physically like can't go out and like just get in your own head every now and then, I don't think you really develop or grow yourself. You're just always depending on other people to help you do that.
Or even seeking that kind of validation from other people. Like you're in constant need of validation from other people. Yeah. And
my mom would come down like when I was in the military with my wife, and I would just like walk off. Like we'd be in the middle of like downtown and I would just like walk off and I wouldn't even realize it. And they'd be like, hey, I'm like, what? You're 20 feet ahead. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you guys like weren't here anymore. I was just like, go off by myself.
Holden Wiener. I see what you did there. You made me say it. It's okay. What's up, Matthew? you did. You made me say it.
Do you like when you do go on these solo dates, at any point in your life or whatever, do you feel like that the waiters worry about you a little more than if you're with someone else?
I'd say no, because I don't think I ever really sat down at like a dinner table by myself. Like I always like sat at the bar, and I think that's where lonely people sit, is at the bar. So but I would be the only one up there eating dinner. Like everybody else would be drinking beer, and I would just sit there with a pile of rice and a couple steaks, and I would just sit at the bar and eat by myself. But they had talked to you like, oh, where's all your friends? I'm like, they're all boring and they want to stay at home, so I just came up by myself.
Yeah, and I only asked because there was a time that I went and had to travel by myself without her or our son, and I took myself out to dinner. Obviously, I need to eat, so I ordered my food, and the waiter came back about 20 times. I had my headphones in. I was just watching something on Netflix on my phone, and he's like, "Are you sure you're okay? You don't?" I'm like, "I'm good. Can I actually just have another glass of wine so I can finish I'm okay." But I think you're right. There is this loss, like you either see people by themselves and you worry for them, or you see the couples that are out on their phones.
No, babe,
like
it's
they
because
can't.
you're a woman and you look like an old maid sitting by yourself at dinner.
I was fine.
And
right?
when men go to dinner by themselves.
Not a lot of people take themselves out to watch Netflix.
I had a good time.
When dudes go out by themselves, they're going to watch a football game somewhere and have a beer. When women go out by themselves, they look like they're never ever gonna get like a spouse. Ken at the lap, because you're a girl. That's exactly why that happened.
I can't even pull my phone out and like take pictures of something or record something. I just would rather do whatever we're doing. I could care less about being attached to anything.
Yeah.
And it's like my biggest problem with social media with the gym, because like when I'm coaching, I don't want my phone pulled out. I don't want to be taking pictures or videos. I just want to coach. And everybody's like, why don't you take more? I'm like, because I don't want to. I don't want my phone. I don't want anything. I just want to be where I'm at, and that's it. I don't care about anything else.
Yep.
I want to, before we run out of time, definitely want to ask you about this too. So you have your oldest child is a girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you find out you're having a girl, what's that? Or did you wait till she was born? Did you find out at that,
reveal party?
No, so both of our kids, we never found out until the day they were born.
Oh, good.
That's like the one.
Y'all are some patient ass people. Good for y'all.
Well, that's my wife. So my mother-in-law said you only get a few surprises in life, and that was my wife's this is the only surprise we're ever gonna get. So we just waited the whole time.
That's really cool.
And I'm pretty sure the doctors thought we were just two psychopaths, because the day my daughter was born, they're like, it's a girl. We're like, okay, I don't get what. like we were just like calm about like, cool, it's a girl, and like that was it. Like, it's the same thing with my son. We're like, yeah, it's a baby, it's fine. It doesn't matter what. Yeah.
Wait, so is your wife just as chill as you are? Just kind of like, I mean, you said she's a planner, but like personality wise, she's just super chill. Like, okay, cool, let's go, keep it moving.
Kinda, sort of. She's sort of gotten too near to the level, but she's not like as calm as I am about most stuff.
I'm trying to picture you both having a heavy conversation, and you're just like, well, this is happening. The other one's like, well, that'll be fine. And like, yeah, okay, you're right. It will be fine. And like, that's the whole conversation. That's
no, she likes to have the conversation, and like, I'll talk about it rationally. Like, I'm not just like a complete caveman, and I'll talk about it rationally. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, I'm not too worried about it. And then I just sort of like, I have a very short-term memory. Like, I don't care enough to really worry about anything. And that's it. Like once it's put on the back burner, it sort of stays there until it gets sparked back up again, and it doesn't bother me whatsoever.
The only thing that Madeline Adams, Mathew's wife, is the real MVP.
Yeah, she has a lot to deal with. Like I don't want to say I don't think about stuff, but like if I want to do something or I want something, like that's it. Like I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna do whatever I want. There are certain things like I said, I'm not a complete caveman, and I'll tell her like, hey, do we have any plans this day? And she goes, no. I said, well, it's on the calendar. We do now. I'm like, she says, as long as it's on the calendar, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I just signed up for a competition on September 7th, and she planned something. I said, hey, it's on the calendar. And she's like, well, I guess we'll have to figure that out, won't we? And I said, yeah, I'll be there. And whatever you're doing, I don't know what to tell you. So
you are the most amazing dude I've ever met.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's pretty cool though. She has to deal with a lot of my antics. Because I like to mess with her. And
let me just bring this up again. You're right, Madeline Adams. Yeah. Matthew's wife is the real MVP.
Yeah.
Jay Sizzle, can you do it?
Yeah.
It won't let me. Dude, so chill. I think math weed is more fitting for Mathew.
Yeah, math weed. Yeah.
Okay. So the you having kids don't like make you like paranoid or give you anxious nerves, nothing at all. It's just smooth sailing. Or
I wouldn't say I'm completely calm, because they do some crazy shit and I'm like, I don't think you guys should be doing that. And they'll go, we're fine. I'm like, well, I don't think you are. And they go, no. I'm like, okay. And then they come crying, and I said, I told you guys weren't okay. Yeah. But I do have my limits. Like, I don't know if you guys know Jordan Peterson.
Heard the name.
Yeah, he says never stop kids doing dangerous stuff as long as they're doing it safely. So like I kind of live by that. As long as they're doing it a little safe, I sort of let them be free. And like my kids are very feral. Like we don't have a lot of. We have discipline, but it's like, hey, we're outside 98% of the time, and they're running around like crazy, playing in the neighbor's garden, or they're in the gym picking on everybody. Like, yeah, they're pretty free spirited.
Feral.
Yeah, they're pretty feral. So
they don't give a fuck. They just do whatever.
They're pretty bad, yeah.
And you and your wife never clash parenting style wise?
No, when she's yelling at them, that's what she's doing. When I'm yelling at them, that's what I'm doing. And there may be some things like, oh, I don't think we should do that. And I'm like, I don't care what you do. Like that's like when she takes stuff away, I'm just like, they're like, can we have them? Like, nope, mom took it away. And like that's the end of the conversation. I don't try to step on toes pretty much.
Have they ever tried to ask you for something and then you hear your wife be like, I already told them no? Like, have you ever had those conversations where they try to get it from you even though mom said no?
Oh yeah, they do it all the time. Yep. And they usually get the same response. Like, are you dumb? Like, you just asked your mom and she said no. I don't know why you're asking me. Yeah, I call my kids a bunch of nerds and ask them if they're dumb quite often. Yeah.
She just caught me the other day because he pulled it on me. And he asked me for something. I was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And she was like, both of you, come here. And I was like, so now I'm like, little boy, don't try to get me in trouble. I'm not playing this game. What did your mother tell you? Did you ask your mother already? What did she say? Like,
well, I think you get to know your kids, and when they try to pull it. So like if they ask for something, I'm like, what did your mom say? They're like, oh, she didn't say anything. And I'll just yell it. I'm like, can they have this? And she said, I told them no. I said, see? lying. And then I kicked him out of the house. Yeah.
Lying. Because kids don't realize, like, we're teammates first.
Yeah.
We're so you can try, but we're teammates first. We're not.
Well, she likes to think it's 3-on-1, but I don't think that's the case. But that's what she says.
Oh, like you and the kids.
Yeah, they take after me apparently, but I don't believe that.
they always do when they're doing something you don't like. Whenever he does something that I don't like, I'm like, get your kid.
Yep.
It's your kid. Get him. Like,
yeah.
I mean, my son's a lot like me, and my daughter's a little bit like me. But when it comes to like little mannerisms and stuff, it's my wife. Because like my daughter believes she is a princess. Like, doesn't think she is. She fully believes she is the princess, and that's just the way it is. It doesn't bother me at all.
That's the way your wife feels that she also is in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody has their little battle.
Mm-hmm.
Bernie Gannon seems like Mathew and his wife are perfectly matched. Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting right now too.
Yeah.
A lot of work. Like we've been together my junior year of high school, do you believe? Yeah. So it's been 15 years or something like that.
Congratulations.
Wow, yeah.
Long time.
Congratulations. Yeah. You don't hear that much. You don't
No.
hear that much.
That's
like
figuring out communication right there.
Yeah.
That's a lot of years of figuring out communication.
We always said it's like so glad we didn't get married after high school because like we hated each other. We could not stand each other in high school. And like if we would have got married, that just would have been the end of it. Because she like during sports, she's like, you were always so mean. I'm like, I don't think I was mean during sports. It's just like I said, I've always wanted to do my own thing, and like, hey, sports come first when I'm doing sports, and that's just how I am. She's like learned to be like, okay, he's going to the gym and he wants to be in the gym, and she's cool with that. And then like she has a hard time. I think everybody should be a little bit selfish in your life, like some selfish in a good way. Yeah. So like when we had our home gym, she'd come home from work and she's like, oh, I want to go work out, but like I don't want to take the kids. I'm like, leave them in the house. And if they cry, close the door, lock it so they can't get into the gym, and like just go do your own thing for an hour. Like get out of here. I yell at her all the time, like go be selfish for an hour and don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But
that's awesome.
She did that for me too, and she still has to do that for me, to just be like, just go do something on your own. Like you don't have to bring him. I ask her 100 times, are you sure that you want me to leave him? She's like, just fucking go. Just get out of the house. I don't care what you do. Just go do something. But you say that it takes a lot of work, and obviously your communication has changed a lot since when you guys were first together and now. What do you think would be one of the like things you've learned about yourself to help you grow as much as you have in communication with your wife?
That's a good question.
Take some time, think about it. We'll talk to Jay Sizzle. No, go ahead. Think about it. After 15 years, most marriages are held together with just baling wire and duct tape. Yeah, for sure.
No, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, it's not like we live in like some type of rainbow land where everything's perfect all the time. But like,
don't say rainbow. Don't say rainbow.
Don't say rainbow.
Don't say rainbow land.
It's off the campaign. It's off the campaign. It's a funny movie. I have a tendency to, I'm very like, I'll say what I want when I want, and I don't care if you agree with it. So I've learned to kind of pull that back and not be, I don't want to say vicious, but if there's lack of a better word, like vicious towards like communicating. Because like usually if like we have a problem, like I'm the one that wants to talk. Like I'm not going to go to bed mad. I'm not going to go like push this away until like it becomes worse. Like we're having the conversation right now, whether you want to or not. And like we haven't had a lot of those conversations, but it's just I've learned to tone down my my quick to temper verbally with people after being married for a little while.
So you don't fight to win. Like you're just,
no, like I'll have an honest conversation. Yeah, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If you're wrong, I promise you're gonna know that you're wrong, and like I'm not gonna back off of it. But and then she's the same way. She's like, no, you're wrong, and I'm like, no, I'm not. And then we'll just like keep going about it. But yeah, we can tell when like we're starting to annoy each other, and like we just sort of like back off, and we're like, no, I'm fine. There's being like, that's it, and then we just like put the conversation down, and then it's fine from there.
Yeah, and I think it's important, because we're like that too. Like I'm not going to bed mad. So whatever, even if we're not going to have the full-blown conversation right now, like if it's a bigger conversation that needs to be had, we need to come to an understanding where we can go to bed. Like I'm not going to bed with this bullshit and whatever, but that takes a lot of time, kind of to what Jason Sizzle was saying about 15 years being held together by wire and duct tape. Like, I don't want my marriage.
I don't want to
like
get
that.
there. Yeah.
I don't want my marriage like that. I want to have a really good fucking marriage to my wife. And that takes time and that takes energy and work. And that's why I always congratulate people that have been together for so long, because you don't hear that much. I hear couples that have been together 30, 40, 50 years, and they're telling me they can't stand their person. I'm like, I don't ever want to get there.
Yeah.
And in order to not get there, you have to do the work. So even like she is who she is, I am who I am, but we still always work to be really good together. And it sounds like you and your wife are the same way. And things that work for us don't always work for everybody else. But for you guys, it seems like the little, like, I just need a minute. Like, I'm going to go do my own thing.
Yeah.
And do you feel like that she has learned that and from you to just give herself permission to go do her own thing? Because as wives and as moms, like, it's very difficult for us to do that.
I don't want to say yes. Like, I think she's like grown and like developed herself, but I push it a lot. Like, I think everybody, like, I'm the type of person, like, after like the day, and I try to give it to her, like, hey, give me 30 minutes. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to be around anybody. Like, I need 30 minutes off to do my own thing for a little bit. And like, then we're cool. And like, I try to give that to her. And like, she comes into the gym now right after work. And like, I try to like keep the kids away and like control them a little bit. But like half the time I'm coaching while she's working out. But I just try to keep everything separated. And I think everybody, after like, once somebody comes home, the last thing anybody wants is to have 4 or 5 people shoved in their face and talking all at one time. It's like, hey, like, I've just walked through the door. You need to give me some time to.
You got to decompress. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and I think it's just because I think most fights, most arguments with anybody, whether it's your friends, family, or whatever, is not because of them. It's because of the guy that annoyed you 15 minutes earlier, or the guy that, or the person you've had to deal with all day. And it's just like, I don't want to hear. Yeah.
You both work with the public. You both are seeing a ton of like people you've never met before, or people that, you know what I mean? Even the people that you've coached for a long periods of time, it's still like having friends that annoy you that day, that you love the next day, that annoy you the next, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still just people
like, if you work in any type of like around people, even if you don't notice it, like, but 3-4 hours, like, it just little pieces of emotion just like get pulled away from you. And then you like got to come back. It's like, okay, I've heard people talk all day. Like, I don't want to hear, I've heard myself talk all day. I don't want to hear anybody else talk. So it's just like, give me 10 minutes of silence and that's it.
And
that's amazing.
And like personal training, like, do you do in-person personal training, or do you just do like, you program for someone and send the program to them?
I do both. So I program for some people on the side that are in the gym. And then I have, right now I'm down to like 2 of my personal training clients, 2 or 3 days a week. And like for them, and I think one thing a personal trainer does become is like somebody else's outlet. Like personal training, like you're a therapist half the time.
Yes.
And you just get to know people.
I'm a bartender in the deli. I'm a bartender. Yeah.
Yeah. You're the most underpaid therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing, they come in, they're hiring you to train them, but 90% of the time they don't actually want to train. They just want to talk.
They just want to talk. Yeah.
They want to talk. And the things that they bitch and complain about, like, I had a client, I don't work with them anymore, but the things that she would bitch and complain about, I'm like, I'm so sorry for you. Like, I can only say, oh, that sucks so many times, because I don't really care anymore. You know what I mean? And you don't want to be like that. But when you are surrounded by people all day, very much to your point, when you come home, your person is there, and I had to be kind to you all day, even though you were an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, you had to be kind to people all day, even though they were assholes. And same thing with you, babe. Like, at all of these jobs that we deal with people, we have to be kind to them because it's our job. When we come home, like, I just need a couple minutes.
I don't want to hear myself talk. I don't want to hear anybody talk. And
also, you're feeling the irritation from the day. Like you were saying, like, I feel irritated from the day, and it's not you, but I'm going to take it out on you because I'm home now, finally. And I can be. So that's something that was very hard for me to learn, from her job, is her coming home and not talking. Cause I'm like, how was your day?
I've talked all day.
She's like, I don't want to. And that took a lot of communication from us of like, I don't understand why you don't want to come home and talk to me. And she's like, it's not you. I've been talking to fucking people all day.
Melly B, I'm still waiting for Mathew to become a regular on Kill Taylor. Best episode ever. I'm telling you, I think I one day I want to do a Mount Rushmore of Kill Taylors, because I'm back and forth. Your episode and the swim episode to me are the two best, and I would have to go rewatch the swim one to see if the shit talking is just as good on that one as it was on yours, because yours was fire.
Yeah, I've been trying I haven't been on in a while because I don't have some like the bike erg and stuff. We don't have one. And then I had a couple birthday parties and other stuff planned throughout the weekend. It's like, if I can make it work at home when I'm at home, I do it at home. I'm not like staying at the gym for an extra 40 minutes just to have 3 minutes on the YouTube. So,
or you will when it gets up to $3,500.
Yeah, like let it get a little higher, and then be like, "Hey, I'm gonna stay a little bit longer, and I'm gonna."
Then all the games athletes call in.
Yeah, I'll be home with $3,500.
Yeah,
that was like the sweet spot was the $1,500, because it was like the games athletes probably weren't going to call in yet, but the people were kind of
Taylor was still talking shit, and
I mean,
he can be unbeatable.
I was honestly surprised. Like I thought, because he would just make workouts that are just the most disgusting, most painful things that you can think of. But I figured he'd go like the first time, like the $5,000 before anybody beat him.
I did
because I love the guy. Like I first like got on the whole, I guess, like Taylor Self thing when he went to the Granite Games.
Yep.
Can't remember what year, 2019 maybe, 2018, whatever year it was. And he just like
when he went to Wadapalooza, but I see what
it's when they had the semifinals, you could qualify for the games.
Yeah.
So at the Granite Games, he full send that dumbbell thruster workout and just died. And I'm like, I love this guy. And like from that point on, like I just like tried keeping up with him, and then he got hurt, and like the whole pig at Dave's ranch and everything. Like I've kept up with it and like paid attention to him throughout the years. And like I think the guy's cool as shit. And he's the villain that CrossFit needs.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like CrossFit has gotten away from like this like we're supposed to be a little rough around the edges. And it's become a big, I don't want to say mainstream sport, but it's become more popular, and you just get people that are committed to it. And even though he's committed to being a games athlete, he's still just a dude, and he loves to be just a guy and like talk shit. So I think it's what we need.
That's what it's supposed to be in sports, though.
Yeah.
It's not, sports aren't supposed to be vanilla. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're supposed to be, you're supposed to talk shit. When Adler and Roman started?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jockeying, and then
and everybody gets upset about it. Like, what are you upset about?
No, I love it. Let me see.
Yeah.
Can you get a penalty? Like, push somebody over. I don't give a fuck. Like, do something. I want to see some, you know.
Like if you put your hands on somebody.
Let me get some drama. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've always wanted to see somebody like going through a workout and like look down the lane and just give their friend the finger, like in the middle of the CrossFit Games. But like, I'm like, man, you guys just like have fun. I know you're there to win, but when you know you're gonna win, just give the people the bird. Like, have fun with it. Like it's all in good fun. But I'm sure there's people that are like, I've never met you a day in my life, and like being a little rude. I don't want to say rude, but like trying to joke around, and people just aren't about it.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Wayne, Matt was the guy that got me into CrossFit.
Yeah.
Bernie Gannon, you know, it's really hard being nice to people, clients, when you find their behavior to be like, it is.
Yeah. Well, so
Jeffrey Birchfield, Jeffrey Birchfield, deal with high schoolers all day and see how you feel. No.
You are a saint, Jeffrey Birchfield. Oh, you're
definitely not dealing with teenagers all day. I deal with mine when he's a teenager. That's it.
And he's only 7. Hold on, real quick. I would like to know. Oh, hello, friends. 5-star non-lesbian here. How's Mathew? And is he single? Asking for Heidi.
No.
He is definitely not single.
Definitely not single. No. We just covered that. Yeah.
My 5-star non-lesbian. That was fire, Odd. Good
job. That's pretty good. Old Audrey.
I'd flip you off the first day of meeting.
That's fine.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, like I would rather like somebody, instead of just like giving me a cold shoulder, just like look at me and be like, hey, why don't you go fuck yourself? I'm like, oh, okay, man, that's fine. Yeah, like I get it. It's fine. And, like I think around here, like people have come to know me really well, and I don't, like I said, I try not to butter anything up. Like I am me with everybody, my grandmother, my mother, like you get the same person. And like if somebody's having a bad day, I'll walk in, I'm like, hey, what's up? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, what's wrong? And they're like, nothing. I'm like, you want a hug? And like I'll mess with them the whole time. Like I like to mess with people and have a good time. And if you don't like it, then
The only thing that really fires you up is the fact that somebody would not understand why you have a lawnmower in your garage.
Yeah,
That's the only thing.
that's fire me up. It's just I find it weird that nobody cuts their own grass. Like, I don't, like you should know what. Like if I had 17 lawnmowers, yes, lawnmower business. But I don't. I had one lawnmower. It would make sense.
You're like, wait, that thing right there? You mean the thing that cuts my grass? Yes, I cut my own grass.
Yeah. And I'm usually the type of person when somebody says, I don't know, something a little off key, I'm like, what the fuck did you just say to me? And like, I just like go off on these tangents. Like I try not to, like, I don't have a filter half the time. And when like stuff like that happens, I get the really dumb look, like the German Shepherd head tilt. And I'm just like, I don't know what you're trying to talk about. But yeah.
Okay, give us some before we wrap up. Give us some. You were starting to when we were off air, but give us some quick games, hot takes. What are you most excited for? Who do you want to win?
I think I'm really excited. I'm excited for the mile run just because I want to see what because all this distance stuff that's in and out, like, oh, was it 5K or stuff like that? Like the mile on a track's a mile. Like there's no miscalculating it, and I want to see what the guys and the girls are actually capable of. So I think that'd be because when you full send a mile, you see who can hold on for lap 4. Like lap 3, everybody starts to quit a little bit. It's like, can you maintain the pace you've ran 3 times for one more mile? So I think that's going to be absolute carnage. I think Medeiros, from the workout so far, is going to do really well, especially on the deadlift one. I think him and Vellner are primed to win it. When it comes to the females,
Baby. He said your man. He said Vellner. She's Patty V all the way.
I know, but it's tough being a Vellner fan.
I love Patrick. He is the man.
But
He's
isn't it frustrating being a fan? Because he punts it into the stand.
Wad Zombie, thank you.
He punts it into the stand every time. He has to crawl himself out of a hole every time. The ones that the last one, it was the running and the shoulder to overhead, and he missed like everyone in the second round, I think it was. And it's like, what is happening?
But I think that's what makes him a good athlete. Like as much as he wants to win, he's there to be like, all right, I have to send it. I don't have a choice. When everybody else is like, oh, maybe I'll try a little harder. Yeah. But I just wish, I just want to see somebody full send even if you don't do great, I mean, you're there to do great. You're there to win. But there has to be, and I think Taylor would be a great example of he knows how to pace, but he's willing to take a shot. And that's what's cool about Colton Mertens. He'll take the shot when he needs to, and he's not afraid to go a little darker than everybody else. Yeah. But when it comes to the females, I don't want to see Tia win, honestly. I'm pretty much it's not that I don't think she's great, right? I just wish it was okay, Tia's back, so who's gonna get second? But I think it's just gonna be that way again. I think Laura's gonna give her a run for her money, but for every workout Laura does really well in and Tia does really well in, the ones Laura doesn't do good in are gonna be spaces away from Tia doesn't do good.
Tia's gonna do
that's why all the girls need to get together and just pick one girl that they want to win.
I don't think it can happen.
Yeah, and then hey, I'm not gonna come in between you and Tia ever. And then, who is it?
Because I think it was the beat Matt Fraser, you needed help. Yeah, and it's the same way to beat Tia. You can't beat Tia on your own. You couldn't beat Matt on your own. Hey, just get between us and we'll try to fill in another couple spots. But when there's no spots to fill because she's going to get top 5 every time, maybe one outside the top 15, maybe, but there's not enough room. So I don't know. For Tia, the order of events don't matter. For a lot of other people, the events don't matter.
Yeah.
Corey Polito, we love meth. Matthew. Okay. All right. I was just checking. I just didn't know. Okay.
I just want to see
no judgment. It's fine. Yeah.
I want to see a raise. I don't, again, it doesn't take away from greatness where greatness is. Matt Fraser and Tia, the greatness that they have given. But I'm so over seeing the same thing by such a big margin. I want to see a race. If you win it at the last second for, the 1 point or the 3 points or, whatever, cool. But it was those games where like you said, we're waiting to see who's going to get second. I want to see a race. So if she wins this year, I hope that because there are a lot of really good girls that are there too. Kenneth DeLapp, Ariel Lowen's really good. Gabby McGowa, all of them. Back. Laura, they're all there. They're all, looking really, really good this year. So I hope that the women fight, and I hope that the men have that same fight too, where you don't know who's going to win.
Well, I think about like, when was it? When Noah was beating Matt, like at Mary, and then like he lost the leader's jersey and he didn't have it for a couple events. You're paying attention now. You're like, what?
Yeah.
And the excitement's building. And then when Tia on Elevated Diane, like she was just falling apart, and like her not having, like, everything was building up, and it became exciting to watch again.
Yeah.
Because like for me, it's hard. Like I love I can't watch all the female heats just because I don't even watch all the male heats. So I only ever usually watch the last 2 heats of everything.
Yeah.
But it's just like now when you get to the female final heat, you're like, oh, okay, do I really need to watch it?
Yeah, right.
Right.
I don't need to watch it. I know you can usually tell who's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, but I think for the men, even though the field's pretty stacked, the abilities of everybody's closer. So the men is going to be more of in my opinion, more of an exciting race for top 5 than for the women being in top 5.
Do you feel, I have a question about this. Do you feel like last year I felt like Roman was the one that was unstoppable and he was just going to run away with it for like years and years and years. And then he hurt his foot, and then, not taking anything away from Adler or anybody else, but like whatever. This year, I don't feel that way. I don't feel like Roman's just going to run away with everything the entire time. Like I feel like there's too many guys to that same thing. Like too many men will put himself in between when he doesn't do well.
I think Roman might have lost his edge.
A little bit, right? Like it's
like,
weird.
hey, like I haven't been able to come to America, and like just so you know, I'm here now. Like, and now I'm a problem. And I feel like he's
that Russian, like, in the snow. And what did Bernie say? Like Rocky 5 or whatever the fuck it was. Like, I just
he may have lost his edge. But even I said last year, everybody's like Jeffrey Adler won. I'm like, I don't know if he won, or if like the stars just aligned and like Roman got hurt. It's hard, like
it's weird
because the truth is, like when Matt wasn't there, so. Could you have really beat Matt? Are you really a CrossFit Games champion? Fraser wasn't there. It's like that same exact talk. Like, did you win, or was just Roman not in the picture?
Now this year, I feel like Ricky's just gonna chomp. He just sounds like he wants to chomp everybody out. Like he's gonna spit you out.
I feel like he has an edge. Like he's there for blood, and that's the end of it. But.
So what you're saying is Adler will not win it again.
It's gonna be tough for him. They're gonna make a play. Here you go.
I mean, like,
let's get Bernie's. Bernie again and Mathew. What's your podium? Putting you on the spot. They like to do that to you.
I know. I would have to, if I had to really put it out there and guess. Medeiros, Gerard, Adler. So Medeiros wins it. Gerard gets second. Adler gets third. And then for the women, I would just go Tia, Laura, and then third place.
Crapshoot.
Yeah, like it's up Gabby, Ariel Lowen. Right now, the events put out, I think, favor a less of a strength athlete because 225 and the 155 deadlifts for women. No, that's not really hard. It's like, do you just have the capacity to pace it and work well?
Mm-hmm.
And then the clean ladder, depending on how heavy that is, like Laura's just going to sweep that one anyway. So
yeah.
I just need to bring this up because I want
you're fine.
To say the name. Can you please bring up the buff carrot?
The buff carrot.
That's amazing. By the way, I just looked up Jeffrey Adler. The guy's a tank. Yeah. They've been saying he's looking great or whatever. I don't know. It's fun. This comment hurt. I think he's like Ben Smith. Ben was my favorite. I'm so sad that's. He's
I don't know.
I had that refrigerator T-shirt forever until I finally I wore it too much and the washing machine ate it.
Yeah. And I think that like when people talk about like, who's the go to CrossFit, like if you want to like who's the go to the CrossFit Games, like Matt Fraser's the go to the CrossFit Games. But if you like want to talk about CrossFit, like it's Froning, like what he's done for the sport itself and what he did, and even though the level of athlete back then is a little different than it is now. What you did for the sport and how long you've been in this.
John Young.
Young's ears are
somewhere
burning right now.
And
That's
wants
fine.
to kill me, but
I feel like it's fun to piss off John Young. So,
Yeah,
I think a lot of people enjoy pissing off John Young.
I have to say it now because if he comes on the show, I'm gonna back down again because it's John
like,
Young. and
oh
he
yeah,
just
you're right.
comes
Yeah,
out
yeah.
whatever.
But
Yeah,
no.
I always do that. But no, Broning's the goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, of CrossFit. Like go to the CrossFit Games. Sure, Matt Fraser. Like, there's no denying that the fittest man on earth, the fittest man to ever do it. But when it comes to the methodology, the business of CrossFit, like what Froning has done
Giving
for it
back
is
to the
unmatched. Yeah,
community, like all that
it's
stuff.
unmatched. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I feel that way too. I feel that way about Annie Thorisdottir too. Like for me,
Jeez.
as the woman, she is my top like
CrossFit
female.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore, whatever.
Yeah, like her and I'm gonna forget her name. Why do I forget her name? Oh my god, not Ariel Lone. That's not right. Oh my god, I can't. She worked out with Dan Bailey a lot, like now, but I can't remember her name.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't followed Dan Bailey.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but like she does a lot of stuff. Like when it comes to
Camille?
coach, I'm pretty sure she
doesn't do shit for anybody.
Yeah, she's a
Sorry,
bodybuilder now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to
Bodybuilder,
say. I mean,
Oh, who was she with? Dan
who
Bailey?
did Dan Bailey?
I can't remember her name right now. I don't know. Oh, Aramo. Is it Christy Aramo? I think she works out every
Aramo.
night. Yeah.
Okay.
Like she's done a lot, so like
Yeah.
I think she's pretty good with it too. But yeah, Camille would have been, but
You guys are great. Damn it, I'm so late. We'll have to listen to the mighty Mathew later. Oh, you're getting new names every other like
the mighty
to
Mathew.
the mighty Mathew later. I was looking forward to this one. What's up, Bokol? Oh, who's a high roxer now? Aramo?
Yes,
Yeah, she's
Okay.
done it now. Yeah.
she is.
Cool, dude.
She is.
Thank you so much for this. This was so
Yeah,
fun.
this was pretty fun.
We'll have to do it again, maybe after the games or something like that. And you can give us your. Why aren't you an analyst somewhere? Shouldn't you be like on the Spin Show or like?
Talking shit about
You're more
shit.
famous than anybody knew. Like you're the.
I mean,
again,
I follow it. I pay attention to it. I think I have an understanding of it, but it doesn't. Like I said, I don't ever put me like. I'm not
This
important
was a lot for him.
I
to
really
come
want
and
to
hang
see.
out
You know
and
what?
talk
You
with
know
us.
who the podcast I would love to see is you and Seth Jump Ship talk legit CrossFit. That would be so awesome.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Mean, I like to talk about there's a lot of people in here that like because Taylor will bring up stuff or like some other athlete will bring up stuff. Like, would you try it? I said, yeah, I'll try it. And like I'll just do stuff. I'll randomly come in and like I'll just do workouts. I did the semifinal workouts and they're like, why'd you do it? I'm like, I don't know. I just bored and I felt like doing them. So like I just get bored and I end up doing stuff. And then I like to learn about myself and like I love programming. So like learning about myself and programming sort of helps out everybody else in the gym. So it doesn't bother me too much.
Super cool, dude. Yeah, I agree, Melly B. Yes, get on a show. Yeah, I would love to see you on Seth Jump Ship. I just think between you guys have both lived like 3 different versions of lives, and I would just love to see you like talk CrossFit, talk military, talk police, talk everything. That'd be fucking fire. Corey Polito. Oh shit, I sponsored this episode. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
His episode, the episode that he was on.
Oh yeah, he paid me. Yeah, he paid me money.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, good. You did great. That was like that. You sponsored one of my top tier Kill Taylor episodes. Was one of my favorite. Jeffrey Birchfield. I own 2 lawnmowers.
There you go. You have a business then.
Bernie Gannon. Mathew is great. So cool. One of us, except way fitter and obsessed with his lawnmower.
Yeah.
You gotta whatever comment that Bernie like leaves after the show, you have to read it because
They're
it's always
so good.
I want to like print out tiles of them and just leave them like put them up on my wall in the podcast.
They're so
they're
funny.
so great.
They're so
Start
funny.
making t-shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
of Bernie's
so
comments on the back. Vindicate. We'll talk to you after the game.
Bernie mints. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. I should have worn the Kill Taylor shirt, but I didn't program.
Nah,
I
you're
didn't.
fine.
I didn't do it appropriately this week. Sorry,
No.
but go get all your swag. We just got all our swag from Vindicate
Yeah,
too.
it's on 20%
Yeah,
for the games. Yep. Paper Street Coffee.
yeah. Our Paper Street coffee came in. We
Bernieisms. I
yes,
love it.
me too.
I love it.
But dude, thank you.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. for everything. Homegrown Relief. Thank you guys too.
Yep.
Hey, get me another commercial without the whatever.
No,
that's
it's fine. I forgot
Oh,
to
did
tell
they
you. I
figure it
got
out?
an email. Everything's fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
everything's
All
fine.
right, cool.
Yep.
Never mind. I'll play that commercial then. But yeah, thanks guys. We got a lot of fun stuff coming up. But otherwise, we're just gonna sit back and watch the boys all weekend.
Yeah,
It
enjoy
should
the
be
games.
That's
Enjoy
fun.
watching the games.
hysterical.
And can't wait to see what everything happens. So
Yeah, we might have a very special guest star tomorrow. I'm gonna
Ooh.
throw that.
maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw that live up later tonight. But yeah, I think we have a pretty fun guest star tomorrow. So it'll be cool.
So come hang with us tomorrow.
Yeah, come hang out with us tomorrow. Put us in your block of time.
That's what's like cool about your guys' podcast. Like, hey, you want a link? And there are people are like, sure. And then like people just hop on. I think it's pretty neat. Yeah.
We're gonna do a do you want a
show.
link show? So we're gonna start that where it'll be pretty regular. So if you want a link, you can just hop on.
That's like a 50. That's like a 50-50. Like, oh, I'll take a link and like, oh, did we pull it up? Like, it's a good thing you guys can see it in the background before you put it on YouTube.
Because most of them, the first one, I was just sending links to people I already kind of knew
and
or already had their email. Like now I have your email. So if you're like, hey, give me a link, it takes 2 seconds for me to send you a link now. Like,
yeah. If you guys ever want to bullshit about anything or hot takes, I like giving everybody like something to chew on and get irritated by. So it's fine.
Yeah, you come on anytime you want, bro. You're always welcome on. Kenneth, you want us to tell you?
No. You have to wait.
We can't tell them now.
You have to wait.
All right.
Sorry, Kenneth. We love you.
We love you. I'll DM you.
All right, guys. See you
All
later.
right, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
Later.
See you guys. That was fun.